Shalom to all the Jews and Gentiles alike, sending a strong Shalom to the children of light. Namaste to all. You already know what the deal is. We're going to give all praise and honor and glory to the Most High, our power, to El Elyon, the Great Spirit, the all parents, going down into our Father Universe, Yahuwah Sabaoth, Anu Ksed, Wakanda, Hawa, Yahadonai, and acknowledgement to our earthly mother, and acknowledgement to our elder brother, Yahushua, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, Isa, Matzah the Lamb, Yesiah, the Messiah, Yahusha, the Lion from the tribe of Yehuda, the one the world calls Jesus Christ. So today, brethren and sistren, we're going to be talking about the Eben Shettiyah, the foundation stone, and the Sphinx. Okay, and talk about those pyramids in Kemet. Okay, since it was the talk of the town about like a month or so ago. I don't know if y'all check, if y'all peep, but I had a few shorts talking about the pyramids for a little bit, but the spirit was like, go ahead and make a full-fledged video. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a full-fledged video then. Let's do it. So we doing it. All right, so we gonna hop into key 108. Let's go ahead and read the header. The key to the pyramid sphinx in the middle of the earth is the high frequency solar vehicle, given in the symbol of the lion sun, and in the symbolic structure of the space-time pyramid, which gives to all levels of evolution in our zone the mathematical, astronomical keys to the surrounding higher evolution. Verse 1 from the top. Enoch explained how the vehicle of the pyramid sphinx has been placed in the middle of the earth as a living model of man's destiny to indwell in a higher evolutionary body. So we're going to be getting into how we, as the children of light, are connected to the pyramids and all about the ascension process. Okay, and the consciousness, that 3D consciousness that you gotta leave, you gotta get out of to go into the domain of the higher evolution. But it's all about upgrading your consciousness. Everything is consciousness. You gotta upgrade the consciousness. All right. Enoch explained how the vehicle of the pyramid sphinx has been placed in the middle of the earth as a living model of man's destiny to indwell in a higher evolutionary body, once he can center his solar and magnetic energy with the alignment of the pyramid, which is the architecture of space. Furthermore, it shows how the face of the higher evolution is able to travel through our sun system and embody its consciousness in our solar evolution in the body of our lion sun. Thus, the pyramid sphinx is an educational vehicle, showing how the brotherhood of light can interpenetrate the pyramidal space of higher man, so that the race of higher man can be synthesized into new forms of light embodiment to go beyond our immediate sun system. The Sphinx symbolizes our body of space and time within the lion solar evolution that must be conquered by higher man before he can wear the face of brilliance and indwell in the presence of the master architects of light. Verse 4, the vehicle of the pyramid sphinx sits on the threshold between our 0-point evolution and higher light technology as the stepping stone to other consciousness sun systems beyond the limitation of our solar light zone. The pyramid sphinx symbolizes how the mind of the higher intelligence must center itself within our solar evolution in order to educate higher man to use the magnetic lines of force and to build consciousness pyramids, which are the keys to open up the threshold controls necessary to leave our consciousness time zone. Enoch further explained to me that when higher man has opened the pyramid sphinx with the higher consciousness of light and connected the energy entrances of the pyramid and the sphinx with each other, he will understand that he has completed this phase of life and is prepared for the energy vehicles of the brotherhood to return and take him into the next evolutionary station. Let's go on to verse 7. And Enoch explained to me that the Great Pyramid is a geophysical computer showing the half-life of our local universe within the geophysical foundations of the Earth's biophysical, geophysical, and astrophysical meridians. Moreover, it is also an astrophysical life station, showing how the geoid function, which is basically the surface function of our planet, is connected with Orion, which is the region for positive programming in our universe, right? That's like how we talk about how the pyramids line up with Orion, with the constellations, okay? They over here on the news talking about, oh, how did they do it? How did they do it? Y'all need to be worrying about who really did it and why is it there? Why is it aligned? The Great Pyramid on the Earth is in reality in conjunction with a pyramidal energy field under the Earth, which together form a diamond. Right? So a few months ago, they were like, oh, we found like some energy down there. It's like we kind of already knew that, but you know, okay. Okay. From this central focal point, there is a network of magnetic resonance which connects all of the pyramidal energy fields around the Earth into a relationship of a icosahedron. The icosahedron grid is a monolithic structure of interlocking tetrahedrons and octahedrons, which give the true harmonic reciprocals of light acting on all points of the grid. The true science of magnetic astronomy is to align the Great Pyramid with the constellation Orion, so as to form the eye focal point to retrieve information from all points of the grid. Thus, the Great Pyramid is a model for the light continuum of the many universes connected with our Earth. With this relationship in mind, we can envision how the pyramid's unique star shafts transfer to Earth on a monumental scale the message of the gods, of the imperishable stars. The message contains the revelation of the true solar astronomy and mathematics that man must harness before he can leave the Earth's environment. Down on verse 13. And when these star shafts will be understood, we will know that the Great Pyramid is the Eben Shettiyah, the foundation stone for the living light upon this planet. Man will see that these star shafts also indicate when the Brotherhood of Light will return during the next space-time overlap to take the righteous from this three-dimensional creation into the next level of pyramidal intelligence, into the many mansion worlds of light. Let's get the definition for the Eben Shettiyah. The rock of salvation. The rock represents the foundation of God's wisdom operating in the world of form as the 12 energy foundations for the heavenly Jerusalem used by the spiritual masters to transform physical form into spiritual form and spiritual form into physical form. Second definition, on planet Earth, the Eben Shettiyah is modeled in stone within the Great Pyramid, representing the altar of Yahweh, which contains the wisdom codes of the divine plan of deliverance. Let's go to verse 15. Back to key 108. Orion must be understood as giving forth the positive sword of light to cut through the magnetic fields of biological limitation. We must understand the Lords of Light from Orion as giving us this consciousness model of the solar sphinx to rise to a newborn creation beyond the negative energy of the immediate magnetic fields. Higher man must understand why the ancients regarded Orion, 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬, as the princely region among the stars. As it is said in the pyramid text, Orion, 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬, the father of the gods, has given a certificate of life creation as a greater power. Let's go to 18. Thus, the star shafts in the Great Pyramid are intended as the introductory ways of conscious preparation, whereby not only Osiris's soul, but the souls of all those who have been initiated into the pyramid might actually ascend to join the masters, Enoch, Heru, Tahuti, and all masters who serve the councils of light in Orion. To this end, the pyramid can be understood as the model for consciousness exodus from one three-dimensional time set within the Earth's magnetic fields into a multi-dimensional evolution controlled by Orion and the regions of the higher intelligence. This is the sacred region of the sky the Egyptians coded Sak, the Tibetans called Tak, and the Hebrews, the Yahudims, called 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬. Let's go get a precept real quick. Let's go into the secret in the Bible. Page 292 towards the bottom. To that end, the Great Pyramid, when operating, was overstood as a purposely built apparatus for the exodus of consciousness from the three-dimensional plane of existence into realms of higher intelligence. Thus, the experience of going into other worlds through the initiatory process in the Great Pyramid is revealed. The pyramid texts speak of the builders of the Great Pyramid as the Nine. Wait, pause. Let's go to the ninth light picture superscript. Thou shalt be the communion. We're going to get a precept on top of a precept. Let's go to verse 306. I was also shown that although there are many cosmic/heavenly councils, one is the Council of Nine, which is an emanation of the higher divine council called the Nine Principles, which encompass the management of the heavens. So who are the nine? They are the nine principles connected with the throne realms, and in turn connected with Metatron and the divine science behind all realms and realities. Let's go back to the secret in the Bible. The pyramid texts speak of the builders of the Great Pyramid as the Nine, and they knew a great deal more than they were later credited. Those ever so old Egyptian scriptures show a direct relationship between the Great Pyramid and Orion, 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬, through the body of death and resurrection of Osiris. The Great Pyramid provided mankind with the shape and design of a structure to move human consciousness into other worlds. The soul shafts from the chamber of the open tomb were intended for the souls of those who had been placed in the resurrection machine that they might ascend to join Osiris in Orion. In the structure of the Great Pyramid was designed a principle to reveal to mankind that his destiny was able to indwell in a higher evolutionary body, an educational vehicle. It revealed that individuals could be synthesized into new forms and go beyond his immediate system. It provided a stepping stone to another consciousness that showed mankind that when he completed the earthly phase of life, he moved on to the next evolution. The populace is ever craving for a beyond and cannot live without an ideal of some kind as a beacon and as a consolation. The company of gods left behind a structure today called the Great Pyramid that proves there is a beyond. Let's go back to the keys. Go back to key 108, verse 22. The Great Pyramid is once again being activated to coordinate with the other grids on this planet. When this is completed, the grids will be open to the heavenly Jerusalem. We will no longer be earthbound, but will pass through the magnetic fields of change. We will once again partake in the story of the Exodus. The biblical Exodus is a micro astrophysical and astronomical model that the enlightened children of God will use on their journey towards the greater universe. For only the children of light, the children of God, have the consciousness of the pyramidal initiate, so they can join the Lords of Light in the regions of Sac, the region of the higher star evolution, in surviving the Earth's diminishing light life zone. As man begins to unlock the mysteries of the Great Pyramid in relationship to biblical teaching, he will understand why Enoch told me that within the Great Pyramid, with a different energy field, the biochemical functions of the body of Moses and 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐿 can be found, for they are the two highest incarnate manifestation of Jehovah within this present cycle. Enoch said they are within the pyramid to show that the pyramid is the Eben Shettiyah, the foundation stone, or the resonance eye for soul manifestation, connecting the office of the Christ with this planet. And when the pyramid is reactivated, they will return as the capstone. They will return to demonstrate the scientific and spiritual unity of all ascended masters. In this fulfillment of prophecy, Moses and 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐿 will return with Uriel, the creator of the inner light, Metatron, the creator of the outer light, and Michael, the creator of this local universe. For this is the return of the programmers who do the Father's will of gathering the righteous from the earth, who will be graduated to go to other light life worlds. Thus, the Christ consciousness will indwell in the consciousness of higher man, who is centered within the pyramid. For only he will be able to leave his physical pyramidal life zone behind. He will be able to take the Exodus across the Red Sea, the light vibrations of his sun system, into the Sea of Crystal, into the land of Israel, the land of the consciousness of light, which freely serves the Father in the many mansion worlds of the light. And the physical pyramid in Egypt is part of a single energy grid that connects with not specifically the land, but the children of light. Alright? The true Israel. Enoch explained that just as Egypt contains the architecture of the physical astronomical pyramid of man's identity in space, higher man's identity in space, Israel contains the spiritual architecture of the pyramid in its scriptures of the Torah, or the scriptures of light. The Torah, or gives man the ability to fashion a pyramidal capstone of light consciousness within his body, for this is the necessary completion of his body if he is to merge his physical energy with the Christ light of the higher evolution. When the scripture of the children of light is combined with the pyramidal architecture of Egypt, the consciousness pyramid and the physical pyramid of the earth will become as one total unity. This pyramidal unity explains why Joseph, as the offspring of Jacob, and 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐿 were initiated into the pyramid of Egypt, and why Moses was instructed in all the wisdom of Egypt. Under their leadership, the race of Israel, created in Egypt under the command of Jehovah, was to go forth to demonstrate the unity with the father and mother elements of physical and spiritual birth and rebirth. This has been the process of the old program being brought to completion. In the new age, we will go beyond the planetary level of evolution into the myriad star kingdoms of the infinite way. The reprogramming of the physical consciousness will take place in 12 major crystalline regions around the earth. These 12 major regions are all focused towards the Great Pyramid, which is the central alignment for the major star positions controlling the geomagnetic grids of the earth. Into these 12 pyramidal regions, the capstone of light will come down to complete the changing of the spiritual hierarchy. This will be the time when the 12 tribes of the physical Israel and the 12 conscious levels of the spiritual Israel will unite around each manifestation of the Eben Shettiyah. Let's go to Key 314, verse 70. I was shown how the present electromagnetic program controlled by the Council of Nine is symbolized at Giza. Right? We talked about the 9. Giza was the region of the Council of Nine, represented by 9 pyramids keyed into the pyramid of Cheops, which contains the codes for the foundation stone, the Eben Shettiyah. Let's go on to verse 75. Thus, the pyramid at Giza exemplifies the recorder cell, known to man as the 7th chakra. For there, the Lords of Light have coded the necessary information to enable the evolution of man to find its ultimate linkage. It is from the Great Pyramid that man must understand the importance of On as the academy responsible for the building of temples along the magnetic centers of the world. Therefore, On represents the 8th chakra, the creative power which is necessary to transplant creation from one level to another. The Academy of On represents the spiritual scientific synthesis, preparing the astronomy of the world to accept the energy capstone, which will ultimately be returned to the Great Pyramid of Giza and its corresponding centers. 179. According to Enoch, the pre-scientists who built Stonehenge were sent out from the Academy of On to establish a worldwide network to be centered in Giza, the major geophysical timepiece of the world. The 6th chakra, the intellectual grid, accordingly, is represented at Memphis, the city of Ptah. Memphis is to be viewed in the terms of the White Wall, which was built to protect the delta, the headpiece. I was then shown the sacred area of the 5th chakra, the voice resonance grid, which was Abydos, the place addressed to Osiris, with the following words: Thou art the Great One, and Abydos, thou art the morning star of heaven, to which Horus of the Tuat has given his body. Abydos represents the tomb of Osiris, where the vibrations of the word of God quicken the body to rise from the dust and put on the imperishable crown of light from the Lords of Light in Orion. Then I was shown how Karnak is the place of the 4th chakra, or heart chakra, for it shows how the heartbeat, modeled in the 5th socket of the Great Pyramid, gives the golden proportion built into the major temples of the world. 88. I later recalled how Thebes appeared to be the 3rd chakra area, for it contains all of the underground tombs and sepulchre passages in the tombs of the queens and nobles and in the valley of the kings. 90. I was then shown that Abu Simbel represents the 2nd chakra. It is here that the Hall of Pillars and the region of the towering colossi and Re-Haraki represent the fertility of the earth being bathed with the golden light of the sun. The towering colossi indicate that we are offspring of God through the lords of light. 92. Finally, I was shown the first chakra in the region of Abu Dis, the place at the base of the spinal column, which in the blueprint of man is the place of the primal energy change. Abu Dis is the instruction of Ptah and the gods coded into crystal. Abu Dis exemplifies the quartz crystal text which illustrate the piezoelectric effect. This activity shows how crystals can be used as the primal energy charge for the necessary stimulation, causing the consciousness to enter and leave the body. 94. All of these 8 pyramidal bonding areas show the physical ionization flow that higher man must go through before he can be resurrected to go beyond beginning and end into the pure image of the living light. The pyramidal model is the blueprint for the living double helix, which unfolds to connect the human evolution with the higher evolution in the thresholds of the treasures in the heavens. Woo! It is. So that's gonna be it for this video, for this lesson. Hopefully you got something out of it. You ate good. You were edified. You got you something out of the pantry closet. Had you a snack. Had you something to nibble on. Had you some dinner. And I say shalom and stay strong.